Hi, hello. So I'm not going to get live again tonight. Germ season is up on us, but I did do a video. I have done something similar before, but this is a mixed media box frame of the clay mushrooms. Now, in this one, I don't actually show making the mushrooms, but there is actual live videos with it on. So you can go back and have a look at them, or I can do them again at a later date. So what I've got here is 8x8 bit of card, just a green bit of random card I'm using as a background. And what I've done is I've glued some handmade paper to it, and I'm using the Stamperia sand texture paste, I hope it is. I don't know if I think it's a sandy texture paste. And this one here, which is the Viva. Oh, again, everything, the names escape me, but it's like a bronzy gold sandy texture paste. I do love the colour of it, but I do actually paint over the top of this one. I just wanted the two different textures because I'm going for woodland, outdoorsy type texture. It all just adds a lot of interest to your make, and yeah, it's just looks like a dog's dinner. But I'm had a lovely time doing it. I really did. I haven't made a lot lately. These big mushrooms are made from polymer clay. They are the Sculpey. It's Sculpey clay anyway, because no names or anything are going to come to us. And you put them in the oven to dry. So you just make them, put them in the oven. They're so easy to make, I promise. If you don't want to make them yourself, you can get mushroom moulds and things. And I'm using a heavy glue gel to attach them. And I'm drinking coffee. Oh, no, I wasn't. That's not the one with coffee in. It's a cup of mushrooms. So I just want loads and loads of mushrooms, toadstools, whatever you want. And I do just add them. And what I'm doing here is I'm just messing about them. I've got all different sizes. I wanted the big one to be in the centre. And I also give it a little skirt underneath the mushroom. Now, these here, you could give them faces. You could do them for Halloween. You could do them to match the colour of your house. Absolutely anything at all. Now, I started doing the mushroom type scenes like this last year. Maybe it's a year before. I can't remember. And I just love it. I love it so much. I've put them on journals. Now we'll put them into frames. I'm sure I did them on something else as well. So all I'm doing, the glue gel is an acrylic based, it's an acrylic gel, and I'm using the matte version of it, and it is from Pentart, this one. I love Pentart. It's really hard to find though now, I find. Same as Deco Art. I find that really hard to get. Deco Art have got so many awesome mixed media products out, and you can't find them in England at all. It's so sad. Hobbycraft used to do it all, but not now. So, like I say, adding loads and loads of mushrooms. What it is it's just having fun. I take a dark brown paint, and now I might just be Hobbycraft's own make, this one, unsure. And I just squirt a load on there. So I've let it dry. I have let it dry in between. The mushrooms will just move all over the place. Not fully dry, but the acrylic gel and the texture pastes have dried. And all I'm doing is I'm covering the whole thing, mushrooms and all. The mushrooms don't turn out brown, but I'm just giving it all a base coat of brown. It's much easier to cover the whole thing with one colour when you've got fiddly bits rather than trying to paint around them. In my opinion, anyway. It might not be easier for anybody else. But yes. So I haven't sped this video. I have sped it up a little bit because nobody wants to listen to me for 45 minutes talking to myself. But I have sped it up a little bit just because it's a lot of painting, a lot of drying, and ta-da, done. See? And this one here is yellow oxide from Golden. Again, you can use any acrylic paints that you want, but it's all acrylic paint that I use to do this bit. And I'm just going to add some different colours in. Like I say, woodland, I'm thinking leaves, I'm thinking we're still we're not in autumn, but there's still no leaves on the trees and still plenty on the floor. And what I'm doing is I'm just stippling it in. I don't want to even colour. If it's gone on the mushrooms, that's absolutely fine. It all just adds to it. And I do take a green as well. And I will blend it a bit. Not much. I'm not being precious about it. I just want some different colours in the background. Like I say, I want to see texture. I want lots of interest. This is the Primer Impasto paint. Now, it's very thick. And I'm running out of it. And I don't think we can get that here now. Unless I'm just looking in the wrong places. Comment below if you can find all the Deco products. And if you can find the Deco products and these paints, the Impasto paints, leave us a link, please. So again, just adding in texture, adding in some greenery. I think I'm definitely thinking autumn rather than, still in winter. It's been nice today though. The weather has actually been a bit better. I'm hoping that spring is on the way because I am sick of being cold. I've been cold since September, I think. I live in a hoodie or I live in a hoodie coat. It's crazy. So here we go. Now this bit here, it might feel like a labour of love. We've just painted over them in brown and now we're adding white. Again, I'm running out of that. You could use a gesso for this, a white gesso, but I'm just going to paint all the mushrooms, the tops of the mushrooms white. And that will make it that the paint that you use to paint the toadstools or mushrooms, whatever you want them to be, will be brighter. If you don't want it like brighter, you can just paint over with your paint, your red paint, orange paint, yellow paint, whatever colour you're doing them in, straight away. And it might need a couple of coats. This way, I think I only do one coat on them. Well, soon find out. You would think it was 300 years ago that I did it. It was today. So yes, I don't make you watch all of this, or I might do actually. I'm unsure. Oh dear me. Anyway, I paint them all white, and the reason for this is so that the colours are brighter. And again, I do find it easier to do this than try and paint around it with the brown. The patches that I've missed, you see the bottom mushroom in the right top corner now? I have missed some off there. Now, I'm not worried about that because we are going to add some shadow and things in later. Again, rather than trying to be completely perfect from the off so that if something does go wrong, just don't, what I'm trying to say is don't be too precious. Don't try and be too perfect. Just be you. So if something's a little bit wonky or you get a little bit white on one of the mushroom stems, don't worry about it. Nobody is going to notice that little bit at the end of it. It's just all about having fun. Don't get upset with yourself if you feel like it's a little bit messy at this stage. It will all come together, and perfectly imperfect is what it needs to be. Because if you start off completely perfect, and like I say, if you do go wrong, you're going to notice it more. Whereas if you're just having fun, you're going with the flow, I think it comes through in your artwork much, much more. I really do. So I'm going to take some black here. I'm running out of that as well. I don't need any more paint, to be honest. I've got loads, but I always seem to reach for the same one. So what I've done here is I've mixed white and black together, and I'm turning the mushroom stalks. Are they called stalks? Stems? What are they called? Are they just called stalks? So I'm dry brushing basically. I want to be able to see the brown, the dark brown still coming through on any texture. So it's maybe a little bit more than dry brushing, but I didn't want them to be just left brown. I do go back in again and add a little bit dark in later on. But for now, dry brushing the grey over, bringing all that lovely texture to life. And yeah, it's just, it's honestly, it's therapy for me, this. Just painting, not overthinking, just going with it. Who else feels that way about the art or the crafting or anything that they do? Is there anything in your life that you just sit down, it's just like therapy? You just sit, you don't have to overthink it. It's just nice. So like I say, I have sped it. I don't paint this fast. I am quite quick, but I don't paint this fast. I have sped it up a little bit just so you don't have to listen to us for 25 minutes of repeating myself. So here I'm just sort of dry brushing it in. Adding in underneath the mushrooms. Don't forget to paint underneath the mushrooms, because I know that you can't really see under them. But if you're given a piece of artwork as a present, or you're selling them, having everything finished off that little bit more, like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, but finishing it off so that underneath the painted and things it just helps all the way. So I'm drying it off using a heat tool. That to me, I already love it. I do. I mean, everybody loves a mushroom. In my new kitchen, a lot of it is, it's like woodlandy type. I've got mushrooms, I've got wildflowers, and this could possibly live on the wall in there as well, I'm feeling. Because the colours match, it's grey. And then obviously I've got all the woodlandy stuff. It might live in there, or it might end up on the website, or it might end up somewhere else. Who knows? I've not done a lot with the website lately, actually. But, you know, it is what it is. I do need to apologise. I did say at the start of the year I was going to be on top of videos and everything else. But no, I am not. Not one little bit. And we're now into February. I had all these plans. I wrote a list. I was thinking it's going to be wonderful. It is not. I have not been, and I am sorry. Hopefully, I can get back to it though. I cut down the lives to 2 days a week, so I'd add better quality ones. Has it happened? Has it not? But I do run. If you're new here, hi, and you've lasted this long listening to us, every month we do, on the first Sunday of the month, I go live and we do it. I've called it Colour Your World, and it is an art inspiration challenge. I don't know if I call it a challenge. It is I'm going to say challenge. It is. And it just gets you using different things, gets you thinking outside the box a little bit. It's all non-serious. It's very much, you can nip in, you can nip out. Get you using maybe colours or techniques that you haven't done for a while. Come and join in, have a look. And I do have a Facebook group, which is Emma's Happy Place Arts and Crafts, where you can actually post your makes too. That you do every month. So what it is you get some colours, and I give the Pantone numbers so you can have a look for inspiration. Then give a theme, and then this time we've added a twist where you've got to add in, like February's was like a secret pattern or something embedded, so you had to look really, really carefully to be able to see it. I do videos, and there's playlist. We are into its third year, I think, third or fourth year. And it's so nice just to play along. And again, it doesn't have to be paper crafts, it doesn't have to be mixed media. It can be absolutely anything. You can do resin, clay, knitting, sewn. Just join in. It's just fun. Just gets you trying something a little bit different. So here I'm adding red and orange tops, hats, who knows what they're called, to the toadstools. It is quite bright, but we do tone it down a little bit, so it keeps in with the background. The paint I'm using is Stuart Culture Hustle. His acrylic paints, the portions, they're very nice. I do have to say they're very, very nice. I didn't pay full price for them. I got them on eBay. They were like, I got them a while back off eBay, I think. Anyway, they're very, very nice. And they only needed one coat in the finish. I do add some, so they're not all just plain. I do add a couple of orange pieces to some of the red ones, and I dry brush a little bit over some of the red ones in the orange. Just to mix it up a little bit, because why not? Say I've put a little bit over the top there. A little bit on the stem, just because not everything's uniform, is it? I probably do go back over and add more red to it. Oh no, I'm changing this one to orange completely. Yes, sorry, had to pause, start coughing, my life. Again, germ season, which is why I've been absent for 2 weeks now. But again, I am sorry. So here's where I'm adding in a little bit of detail, a little bit of an orange stripe around the top of a couple of the red ones. Just making them a little bit individual. It's completely up to you what you do with it. If you want these mushrooms to be blue, purple and sky blue pink, go for it. If you want the background to be bright greens, yellows, purples, do it. This is all just an idea, inspiration. Make it your own. Do what you want with it. Or do this. Do this and then tag us in it. Show us what you do with it. Add them to the Facebook group. Yeah, so here I'm adding in some lighter. I've mixed brown and the orange with a little bit of white. And I'm dry brushing over again, so some of them are lighter. And then I go back in with some dark. Now, I'm not going to make you watch all of this, I don't think. I say that every time. I possibly am. Who knows? So get dry brushing over them, bringing all that texture out. So now we've got the dark brown, which is in all the grooves and all the markings I've made on some of the mushrooms. Then we've got the grey. And now we have an even lighter grey over the top. But then we'll go back over again and add a darker for shadows. And that just, the layers, dry between each layer. Layer? Yeah, sorry. Dry between each layer and then you won't just get mud. If you keep going over and over and over with acrylic paints, you can start pulling the colour off underneath, because acrylic paint is essentially a plastic base. So, here I've taken a dotting tool. Now this brush here, you'll see this quite often. It is a nail art brush and I use the little bottle tool on to make dots and things. And the other side I actually use for wax, like finishing waxes and coloured waxes. So I wasn't going to add this many dots to the toadstools we're going with now. But then I decided, well, why not just add some around the rim of some, add some everywhere. And I don't make them uniform. They're not completely straight dots, like they're not all even. Some of them look like little lines, because nothing is perfect. Nothing is. Even somebody who you think, something, anything like that you think is perfect, are absolutely not. And nothing is perfect in nature. If you look at it, everything is different. Even as far as colours go, in nature, there's everything goes with everything. So when somebody says orange and red clash, or pink and red clash, pink and orange clash, there's no clashy colours, because flowers are every colour. Right, so this is the fun part where I start bringing it. I've found some resin flowers, little roses. I've found some faux moss. I've found some metal embellishments, and this is where you can really bring it to life. I don't know if you heard that. An alarm started going off, a mystery alarm. If you did, I'm so sorry. I'm not starting again, because I don't want to listen to myself again for this long. So I'm adding the faux moss. It's not reindeer moss. It's a bit like wool. It sticks. If you've got dry skin on your hands, it sticks to your fingers like Velcro. It's so funny trying to get it off. But it's faux moss, and it actually looks really quite nice. Once it's dry, you can paint over it. This is a Prima butterfly metal embellishment. Excuse me, sniffing. That's terrible. So I want to see it, so I kind of lay it over the grass a little bit, the moss, so you can see it. And I'm adding in some of the resin flowers. Again, they look very clean for now, but we do make it all blend and fit. So adding some more in there, because every little woods needs some flowers. And then, of course, this is what you find. You find a bee on a clock in the woods, of course. And then we'll add some crystals, because, of course, they're in the woods as well. And especially if it's in a fairy woods. Oh, I didn't put a fairy on. I should have done. So this here is dark brown finishing wax. And I'm using that brush that I used on the dotting tool. And I am adding in some shade and shadow. You can add it underneath your mushrooms to get it even darker. I'm adding it onto the moss. It is wonderful. You can get it in black. You can get it in clear. Now, if you get clear wax and you can buy big tubs of it, you can use mica powder in that wax to make your very own colour of wax. So you don't need to buy a gazillion colours of wax. See that white bit there that I missed at the very start? I've missed it over and over again. Every time I've gone over it, I've just covered it with the finishing wax. It is marvellous stuff. So this I do, it takes quite a... this bit, the finishing off pieces, I love it. It's just seeing everything come to life. So you can see under the mushrooms, I'm adding some shadow. I'm going around the mushrooms. I'm adding it on top of the moss. I'm adding it into the flowers a little bit so they don't look as white. I didn't wait for this to dry. I did not. I'm going in the mushrooms, the toadstools with the curly tops. I'm adding it in there so they've got a bit of shadow and things. And then I go over and I add some to the mushrooms, and then I use my finger to smoosh it in a bit. I'm cleaning the brown off because I am going to go for a bronzy gold. I do like bright gold, but not as much as I like this. It's like a bronzy gold. I am using the brush at first because you can if you don't want to get your fingers dirty. But I do go to my finger because I've always got dirty hands, as you can see. But here we are. You can see it's bringing it to life. I added the roses. I add little bits on the mushrooms, on the stems. I even add some to the crystals as well. It ties everything together. It finishes everything off. I add some to the clock. I add some to the butterfly. It just enhances everything. And like I say, you can add shadow and shade. But this here, if you add it in the right places, to be honest, me anyway, anywhere at all, it looks like the sun could be shining on it. See there in the background as well, when I use the red, I smooshed some of that into the background as well. I forgot to say that. Just smooshed on what I had left on my brush. And again, it just all ties it together. It makes it feel like everything's meant to fit. Anyway, here we are. A video of the finished piece because my phone went off. Thank you if you're still here. Do subscribe. Do come and join the lives. I've got over 400 videos and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.